A Saksha-natic?
A what?
Oh boy, they're starting a new fan club.
That's them.
That's
they,
them?
They are the Manila chapter of Saksha-natics.
I should have known. I should have recognized them. Maybe it was the sign. Maybe it was the sign that I missed out. As we get into the drafting phase, it looks like Team SMG is going to be on the blue side with Fireflux on the red side. Let's get this show on the road. Immediately, we are seeing Khalid bans, we're seeing Fanny bans, we're seeing Wanwan as well as Bruno.
Well, seeing that Team Fireflux have already banned 2 marksmen indicates and only let us know very obviously that they are familiar with Sasa's heroes, and not just that, they know that his 1-1 is so special. And on the other side, there is not much of a focus on a certain, let's say, role. There's a multiple banning phase happening there. Fanny in terms of the jungle, Khalid on the side, on the XP lane, and Guinevere, which is one of the most in MENA. We call it Joker picks. You guys call it Flex picks. So XP, I think that pretty much everywhere except for the gold lane.
Okay, if that's the case, this next ban coming out from Fireflux coming in as the farm is rather interesting. At the very least, it's not just all 3 target bans.
Yes, this is diverse. Again, this is what we can expect from 2 teams from very different regions here clashing now at the world stage. Coach Pao has a lot on his mind. I would say the Nolan was open. I would say the Matilda's open, but look, he goes for the Joy.
Joy is in an interesting position, right?
Yeah.
Because again, it's a great way to kind of flex out upon your opponents, and more so, you don't really, well, flex out in 2 roles only, not 3, not that S tier.
Yeah, but look, actually Joy is one of those picks that can be used at the jungle and also on the XP lane. So, and actually, both players at Team SMG have proven that they can use Joy in multiple places. But what's really interesting for me is the Valentina pick, because whenever you see a Valentina, you always know that the other team, the opponent team, in this case it's SMG, cannot use certain heroes such as the Atlas, or let's say one of those heroes that you are afraid to have their ultimate stolen from them. Having the Tresla with the penalty zone, I think that's pretty much, let's say, a classical draft so far.
I think things are going exactly how we expected it to be, but at the very least, right, we are seeing some familiarity. Banning up the farmers, picking up the Valentina. You know, some very common tactics that we see from a lot of these teams, but that opens up a lot of big picks. It's going to be the Matilda and the Arlet locked in.
Okay, to be fair, Fireflux actually allowed for these ults to be open, and they picked up the insurance policy. They put the Valentina in Rose's hands, allowing him to pick and choose. I want the final slash. I want the soaring eagle circling.
Well, it's so hard actually to kinda, let's say, bet on that and leave the other team play with whatever they want just by having the Valentina. So I kinda cannot agree with Team Fireflux, but again, we can agree to disagree. They have their own mindset. They have Bang Golsif to tell them what to do and what to pick. But the Brody here, I think that they will continue pressuring on that gold lane.
I think, you know, a lot of it, Team SMG's stability comes down to their individual laners and how well they actually perform, whether it be in Smooth or whether it be in Sasa. But in this particular case, Fireflux is leaning in on making sure that the Kage is not going to be comfortable. They ban, Team SMG banning out the Lancelot while Fireflux is taking away the Lilia.
Yep, first phase they attacked Sasa, and now they're attacking Smooth, and then back to Sasa, rather Stormy. Now, something to note. What's gonna happen when we go to pick TNZ's hero, formerly known as Cura, if you guys were watching MSC? Because they attack the Lancelot, there's so many choices left. Are they forcing him into a utility jungler, or are they forcing him into the Nolan? Because Nolan's still out there.
Nolan is still out there. I agree with you. But, I mean, considering everything that's put into play, we might have something else come on the table. Hey, fun fact, Reign of Stars, Rosa posed a 100% win rate on Novaria in 5 games at MTC Season 2. And, finally, we do get to see the Nolan ban.
Yeah, and as I told you, after taking the marksman or the gold laner generally at Team Fireflux, they will continue pressuring Sasa a little bit, but here comes the funny part for me. There's a lot of picks that are still there. They can be used for the team, for the side of Team SMG. They haven't yet chosen the marksman, but the Beatrix is there, and there's a lot of other picks for Team SMG. So far I would say that the early phase of the draft, I kind of lean towards Team SMG.
I think I could agree with that sentiment as well, but it's highly dependent on which side of the map it's going to be playing around. And I feel with Fireflux, they're considering where their bans are, I think they're going to be, again, playing towards the gold side. Baxia gets locked in, so that answers your question. They're not going to go for the assassin. They want that utility jungle, and more so, they want to maintain their tempo against Team SMG.
So that means the roamer might also make a difference here for Fireflux. They need someone who's very proactive. They need someone who can go toe-to-toe or at least run by TNZ's side. They want someone to go up to speed with him, and instead of going, it's been a long day, right? You don't want to leave the Baksha hanging.
That's true. That's also true. I'm thinking like along the lines of maybe even Angela if we're really, really like forcing it out,
Where
right?
you're always there.
Exactly. But then again, Team SMG, they could pick it up on this side, but I'm not sure about the lane priorities at this point.
Well, having a Baxia on the side of Team Fireflux actually gives them that flexibility, but look at Team SMG, they will just have one of, like, both these, let's say, supports in the mid lane. Maybe mostly it's going to be the Angela, but going back to my point talking about Tenzi or Tainzi with his Baxia, I think that he have proven so many times that Team Fireflux, he can be the sole Reaper, I would call him, for Team Fireflux. He always goes in with a fast rotation and takes what he wants.
Man, how did you see that Angela come in? It's like you're from MPL Malaysia or something.
It's crazy. It feels like the MY in my heart is the same as the MY on stage. If you look at the audience predictions, thank goodness, because apparently here in Malaysia itself, we have a population of nearly 150%.
People flew in.
People flew in.
For the wildcard, they're still there apparently.
Just to send in their votes. But look, the rest of the world is still leaning. I mean, there's still parts that still believe in Fireflux, especially from the EECA. It's good that they have that support, but honestly, I'm ready to have my expectations either be met or completely ruined.
Well, I will tell you that your expectations, if they are towards Team SMG, for them to win, they have to win the early game phase, because whenever they lose the early game phase, it's so hard for them to recover. Well, seeing the draft here, I would say that Team Fireflux have a lot of pressure to apply, but let's see together.
Well, with that being said, as we go in towards Land of Dawn, we have our second best of 3 matchup here at the M5 World Championship between Team SMG versus Fireflux Esports. Team SMG on the blue side, Fireflux Esports on the red.
We're already seeing a little bit of spice here as Fireflux finesses this Hilda into that roam. Apex 47, known for his Estes, known for his Atlas, now picks up a hero that lives in the opponent's jungle. So something tells me a part of Fireflux actually wants to go fast, and this is the right hero, right? This is the hero that we were looking for, someone who can run alongside TNZ's Baksha as he wails away at Nico at half health. Oh, wow. Fireflux already off to a great start.
I mean, it is just level 1, right? And that's what we should expect for the side of Fireflux. They need to start creating advantages around in the side lanes, and this kind of gives us a rough idea that they do want to play towards that gold side. With Baxia starting on his purple, he's going to be ending up on the top side of the map, and it's going to be pretty crazy, right? These are potential expectations in terms of items. Don't get too confused just yet. It's only a minute and 20 seconds into the game.
I think that Avix is trying so hard to just pressure, I would say, the jungle area, but so far he cannot do that much because of the slowdown coming from the Angela and as well as the Matilda. So I would actually say that Team SMG, in terms of the rotation, they have to focus on their gold lane a little bit because they have 2 supports. So there's nothing better than having 2 supports. I think that these are actually the most banned supports in all the tournaments, not just the internationals.
They usually never get slipped through, but keep in mind.
Whoa.
Oh, wait.
Oh, Miko trying to help out Lord Smooth, committing his flicker because, again, he ran into a 3-man mid-rotation from Fireflux. It's tough. And now the Turkish have priority over the First Lord.
Yeah,
Rather Turtle.
I don't think Team SMG is going to contest this at all, right? I mean, we're seeing that, unfortunately for Smooth, he's not level 4. He's already in a difficult matchup against Alien on this Grizzla. Top side getting harassed early on, so it's difficult for Sasa to actually take trades for the time being. And Nico just getting stopped in his tracks with Fireflux parking in their jungle.
Well, if you got to watch Team SMG, you will think that they are kind of robots, but in a good way, because whenever they win the early game, whenever they have that chance, they continue.
Uh-oh! Alien here put down to 1/10 of his health. Tienzi to the rescue, keeping his XP laner alive. And just like that, Alien's back at it again. Let me get some heals here. Brave Smite doing its job. Stormy in mid does have the Hearthguard, and it is off of cooldown. Didn't use it quite yet. So maybe now we see Team SMG actually, put up a fight.
Well, I don't know. Personally, for me, when I'm thinking about like Stormy on Angela, my blood starts to boil because he's such a mechanically gifted player. So why put him on something so, I wouldn't even say brain dead to a certain degree, but something that doesn't allow him to express the way that he plays as we go into this pause.
He throws out those love waves, just pixel perfect.
Pixel perfect.
I'm trying to help him out, man.
I mean, it's got to be something. Like, the timing obviously is going to be good. But yes, Yasu, as you were wanting to mention earlier.
Yeah, I was saying that Team SMG, whenever they control the early game, I think that this what makes them go into their own comfort zone. Well, Team SMG, when they control the early game, I think it's, I'm not going to say easy, but it's so hard to take it away from them. And for Team Fireflux, they are used to have good trades. So far, I think they are playing, Team SMG are playing so passively, and I think they should actually, because they don't have that much of a front lane thing. But yeah, I don't know actually what to say here, but Team SMG, I thought they will like play a more aggressive early game.
I think now is a time. After Stormy hits level 4 is when they can actually be proactive. Because the Hearthguard can actually time out or find the pickoffs where TNZ is not. Because again, there's that whole counteracting Baksha's mark with the whole Heartguard. You have less shields, less regen. So maybe that's where Stormy's mechanics can come through, is those last second final calls. Do I go in here? No, psych! I'm gonna jump into someone else.
But thinking of it, how much shield? Like, I think it's a disgusting amount of shield that Team SMG has, right?
I agree. I feel like if we had to kind of summarize what Team SMG is playing, it's a catch me if you can style of composition.
They have all the shields. That's a scientific number, all the shields.
All the shields, they've got the CC as well, and they also have the mobility to kind of like run circles around you, right? Like, this is what we should expect for the side of Team SMG. And don't get me wrong, this is not exactly the easiest comp to play, especially considering that Fireflux likes to have that ube kind of style. Play together, fight as a team, move as a team.
So now we're looking at when they pull the trigger. Are they waiting for Sasa? Are they waiting for Saksha? Let's see here, because right now, it's no secret, the Turkish are saying when the fights happen, like this now right now. Tianzi coming in, forcing a fight. Apex as well. I can't believe it. It's a 2v4 and they know it. Sunshine holding this Y bush, puts a few stacks on to the Kage as they both back off.
Yeah, unfortunately with the Joy, the early game damage may not necessarily be there. It does take a little bit of ramping up to build to that point. But in the meantime, at least for Sasa, he's on the Beatrix, right? And we know that traditionally, even if Beatrix is in a quote-unquote losing matchup, clearing the waves is also an option.
And I would actually also want to add one more point. There is a strategy called Protect the King, and that's by protecting the gold lane. I think that the gold lane at this moment for Team SMG, like calling Sasa out here, is should be served to the best, because you have two supports, one of the best, if not the best supports at the current meta. So whenever there's pressure on Team SMG at the top lane, I think they have to prioritize to save Sasa and make him farm even more.
I think I agree with the sentiment there, especially with the micro rotations that are going on, sending him into the mid lane, picking up that wave, and then quickly rotating with the help of the guiding winds from Miko to get back top.
There we go. Second turtle fight coming in. Circling Eagle. Tianzi still able to hit the retribution. And now Saksha regretting everything. Running on out. Miko with the guiding winds. Now Smooth still holding on to the final slash. No one home.
Catch me if you can, I'm telling you. It's difficult to kind of lock them down, but down
bottom. Sunshine barely gets away, but that was a close call for Sasa, calling in Stormy for the Hearthguard, and the fight continues. Apex winning away at Miko as we tell the tale of Arlott.
By getting near to that 5 minutes, we see that there's a switch lane that happens so fast, but what's also so fast is Saxa.
Oh, still Apex. This man is relentless. Oh, interesting. That stat down bottom might as well tell the story of how Arlott might be, what, foiled by Trisla?
Yeah.
Because the stats look better.
I mean, the stats definitely are going to look better
overall.
Oh, Miko. He should be out of there, no problem, right? I mean, they're not going to dive this after they've used the Heartguard. It's about to time out in about, like, 4 seconds more.
Yep, this is a stolen Heartguard, by the way, from Rosa. And as early as 5 minutes, they're already pulling a Turkish Ube as Miko tries to defend Stormy's position. Apex commits the power of wildness. Apex deep in enemy territory as Tianzi rolls in like the Autobots, forcing another flicker from Miko. And now next Stormy on the docket, flickering on, now gets hit by the Poissons. And now Miko's up next side. Sasa can't do much. In comes Smooth. Can he do anything? Dashes on through. Final slash. Serving up Genzi, but Sasa does not have the damage just yet. Sunshine pulls the trigger. Torn apart memory. Smooth folded in half.
I think that Smooth came in a little bit late. He was so late for that Team 5. On the other side, you see the Team Fireflux are utilizing, taking that turret down. I think the Team Fireflux took more than what this Team Fight was offering.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And wait, this isn't a solo kill, right?
Alien.
He should be okay, right?
Oh! The DPZ not going to be able to save him. You were saying.
Yeah, I think that overall, the way that Firefox is playing, it's actually pretty smart, right? But keep in mind that Team SMG are quite accommodating. For an example, we did see Stormy kind of flicker in an awkward manner, but he really understands that it's more important to give that kill over to Tianzi than to give it over to someone like Sunshine.
Look at this. After the turtle take, Team SMG looking to punish Apex. Not going to happen as he dashes on through the bushes using the Hilda's passive. It's tough. Fireflux taking all the turtles, going 2K ahead here, 7 minutes in.
Well, there's something that really irritates me about that, and they are and that's that Team SMG are focusing with Smooth more than they are focusing with Sasa.
I think they believe that at least for Sasa, it's easier for him to clear these waves in comparison to Smooth, who's already not only having a bad matchup in that 1v1, but more so, his wave clear isn't as effective.
Well, I would agree with you, but again, let's look at the in-game equipment here. We see that the Beatrix already got the Blade of Despair. On the other side, there's 2 items, so Sunshine is actually doing really good.
Oh, it looks like Team SMG might be looking for a play here. I wonder if they knew that Rosa was in the bush. Rosa, by the way, stole the Hearth Guard, and up top, this is odd. They planted Sakshajar for about 2 minutes now. Smooth gonna get taken down. What's happening to SMG?
This is what I was talking about, right? It's one of those moments where you want to see Team SMG kind of thrive, but it's really difficult with this style of comp, especially if Fireflux are going to be stuck so close together.
Well, Team Fireflux are actually doing really good with that draft. I wasn't, at the beginning, at the first phase, I wasn't agreeing with the draft that Team Fireflux had, but by seeing everything, like by seeing all the teams pick up all their heroes and showing us the strategy, I think that Team Fireflux are actually nailing it.
Yeah, Sue. Early in the draft, you were already not agreeing with the Turkish ube, and here they're showing you this is the Turkish ube.
Oh, but is it? I think that the ube relies on the healing, though, right?
It's delicious. I mean, they stole the heal. They did steal the Heart Guard, so they have that going for them.
They did have that going for them, but at the very least, Tianzi, right, he's really taking advantage of his EXP lead. He keeps seeing Saksa hang around on the top side of the map, so he has been coming down to quickly tax him, put that brass tax on him.
But there's something I really wonder about. When does SMG get more, let's say, aggressive? Because 3 turtles in, Fireflux takes them all, and even with that Lord, it's so hard for them to contest.
I think it's a matter of a window. Team SMG is looking for a window. So far, they've been very passive. They've been taking trades, and it hasn't punished them as hard. But wait, this might be it. Alien down to 1/3 of his health, forced to use a DPZ, and Tianzi looking for the clap back. A turn. Sunshine presses the button. Torn apart memory. Sasa going back. Oh, Lord Smooth with a final slash. Serving up an ult to Sasa. That's Nibiru's passion. Smooth taken down. Team SMG misses the window.
Anti-synergy once again, the final slash pushing them out of Bennett's rage. A little unfortunate there. I think they could have used it as zoning. Wait,
here we go. Kenneth Fenelin finds Rosa in the back, and the Joy gets its first actual assassination in the back line there. Amazing. He's able to dash right through. The Sakshanatics go wild.
Yeah, Saksa knows when to go in and how to go in, and by taking that kill, I think that this might be the first time that we see Team SMG actually fights.
Yeah, I mean, they are looking to get into these fights, but it can get extremely difficult, right? Because I'm imagining them trying to chase down a kill, and then all of a sudden, you're seeing the Toys Poissons just get laid across the floor, and you're just taking damage for no reason. Oh, Miko's playing with fire. Oh, no.
Kenzie answers back, and the rest of SMG were there. You were saying.
Yeah, I think that at a moment's notice, things are going to change. But I think that Team SMG are only going to get proactive once we hit the later stages of the game. For the time being, I think Fireflux have full control.
And also, I would say that Team Fireflux at this moment, I'm not going to say they have a lot of gold lead, but they don't want to take this Lord actually. They are looking to fight.
It's a slow take here. The Turkish want to dance. Rosa with a stolen circling eagle, putting Nico down to a fifth of his health. Lord here at half. Alien kiting, Alien pulling. As CNZ says, let's call it off. Not a good Lord take here. They reset.
Sasa's going to show himself.
Whoa, here we go. Conceal play. They spot out Smooth. Flickering on out. Final slash. And all but the kitchen sink left to take down Smooth. And here comes the rest of them. Saksha gets a hard guard in. Miko says, let's go. Alien gets caught out. The damage once more. Not enough. Fireflux retreats. Not a single casualty.
Fireflux understand the only person who can kind of set up a kill for the layup is Smooth. So you take him out of the equation and you can see them just kiting away from people like Saksa, who is currently, yes, he's catching up in EXP, but he doesn't have his third core item to actually deal enough damage.
Gideon, what you're saying is Smooth is the alley, the rest of them is the oop. And we've been only seeing oops.
Yep, it's painful. It's painful to watch, but at the same time, this is how Team SMG plays it when they are behind. Keep in mind, it's only a 3.6k lead. We're not seeing anywhere close to an 8k lead or even a 10k lead just yet, which could be very dangerous for Team SMG.
And for Team Fireflux, actually, after seeing the itemization of all the members, they are focusing so hard on that defense items in terms of the magical defense. So actually, they are they are totally right, because if you look at Team SMG, they have a lot of magical damage there, but some players of Team Fireflux were going for the Athena Shield, and some of them were going for the Radiant.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to be a matter of time, because there'll come a time wherein items don't matter. You have to execute on it. Maybe if you're to the level of AP Brendan Burmese Ghouls from earlier today, where it actually matters how you juggle. Right now, it's about positioning. And speaking of, hey, here's one strength Team SMG has. They can plant Stormy here, and it'll bite them less in the butt, much like how Fireflux Esports has to commit these two, Apex and Rosa, taking the long bush on orange.
I mean, they didn't have to actually commit, but at least they're planting them there. They have an idea that if they start moving, they can immediately punish.
Yeah.
And actually, by having an Angela, you have that free space of pushing on the other side of the map, and Team Fireflux knew that.
Rosa with a stolen circling eagle, got caught right into it, and there's the Bennett's Rage! Smooth with the final slash, and they take one down, make it 2, Alien Kenzie for Saksha, as Team SMG gets a winning trade, but in the grander scheme of things, they lost the retribution and they're still going. Riverbush coming in, forcing Apex to come through. Smooth wailing away. Not enough damage between these 4 left. Team SMG back off. Fireflux holding their ground.
Okay, they're going to need a reset here for the time being. Maybe they can get him in turret. It could be difficult, but Rosa, just really nice play. He still doesn't even have to use his flicker. Again, Team SMG have missed the opportunity. Yes, they were able to get 2 kills, but now it's back to just wave management.
As I told you before, Tennessee, I would actually like to call him the Soul Reaper. If you look at his score, he's actually 6 out of 6 in terms of the kill. He's having 2 kills and 4 assists, as you can see, and he puts his final touches. Well, if we look at Team Fireflux and we wait for them until they get a Lord, we will take so long. They actually want to take the fight more than they want to take the Lord, and that is actually justified by having the Goldine and also having the control over the map.
Sunshine pulls the trigger there. Not enough stacks, but this is a slow-paced Lord dance. Gentlemen, can you believe it? Lord evolved. During the dance, he's like, come on, man. You guys don't take me or not?
Yeah, and I think that, at least for both of these teams, nobody really wants to be committing too hard on this Lord. Because, again, the engage and counter-engages coming in from both sides are actually pretty devastating. And I think, Fireflux have learned their lesson. They don't want to give any more of a lead over to Team SMG, so Team SMG must take the initiative.
And Yenzi spot Smooth in that bush. Coming in with the final slash. It's Miko with his Wisps who actually take it down. Big win for Team SMG, but they do lose Smooth along the way. Fireflux doing damage control, backing off. Team SMG holding their ground here in mid. Tier 1 in jeopardy, gets taken down by the Turkish. And Saksha tries to look for the flank. In he goes, hard guard by Stormy, asking for the assist, and they back off. This is a perilous engage.
Yeah, a messy team fight, followed by a mid lane turret, followed by a kill. And actually, the one who takes that Lord was the rumor, so both junglers better luck next time. And look at Team SMG. You will see that they did recover, and that's actually the opposite of what I said earlier on. Team SMG, when they lose the early game, they don't recover well. Well, now they are answering me.
Yeah, I mean, they've been struggling to kind of set up this arm bar, really trying to like pull it out of their hands to get them into that chokehold, but Fireflux have been doing a really, really good job at kind of like slowing it down. But now it's coming to a point where, wait, hold on.
Oh, Miko gets folded in half. There's a trade though, the damage is real. Team SMG are obliging Fireflux, welcoming them with open arms as Sasa is fully loaded. Oh, now Fireflux on the defensive, losing turrets, top, mid, bottom, big fat wave, and Saksha and the gang pushing them back. Oh, now Stormy's feeling it. Now Stormy's just calling the shots.
He is, and honestly, coming to cinemas near you this December, Sasa Reloaded. I mean, the fact is that we're coming to a point where the items are starting not to matter, and that's where we see Team SMG actually building up that confidence. It's not like we're at a disadvantage. We're coming to a point where we can actually take you on toe-to-toe.
Well, looking at Sunshine especially, he's the first one who completed his itemization, and at some point, one of these Wind of Nature, can be a game changer because both marksmen have it. And if you look at Team SMG, you will know that this is the person you want to take out. It's Sasa. He's the most dangerous. He is the most favorite, let's say, player at the team currently because he is getting the assistance from both Matilda and Angela.
I mean, they're not gonna let him dry out against Fireflux Esports, right? I mean, he's the main source. I mean, does Apex get out of this?
Apex gets his immortality pop, and here comes the rest of Fireflux looking for the turn. Smooth takes him down. Sunshine already used. The Wind of Nature gets taken down by Saksha, and now Rosa's up next on the docket. Down to a fifth of his health, healing up. The Hearthguard able to get him in. DPZ by Alien. Gonna survive, but for how long? 2-0 quick takes by Team SMG.
Now imagine being Smooth. You get shafted in lane, you get shafted in the draft itself, and when all hell breaks loose, he is still able to pull Sunshine out of position for his team. That's what you need in an EXP laner.
SMG team, they just bounce back, they just come again, and not just with the kills. Also, the first inhibitor turret mid lane is now wide open for Team SMG, and actually looking at the flipping tables or the turning tables, now they are the ones who want a team fight at the Lord and not just the Lord.
Yeah, no. Fireflux are a man down, so they forced the issue and dealt permanent damage as Sasa and the rest of SMG rush that Lord. That's the second for them this game, and can confirm it's now evolved. How's the Ube looking like right now? That Lord is dealing extra damage.
It's starting to be real difficult here, especially if Sunshine is always going to get thrown out of position. Keep in mind, it's not just about him. It's also Rosa as well, right? He needs to find correct ultimates, but Saksha can run both of these heroes down. So it's one of those push and pull situations, and right now the real-time win rate is looking heavily in the favor of Team SMG, despite the abysmal early game.
Well, that's how things should be, actually. Team SMG, as I said earlier on, they have that momentum and they have to use it to their favor, applying a lot of pressure with these international strategies that they have just faced. Team SMG, so far, have learned something, and that to recover from a really hard early game.
They continue to grow. That's what I love to see. Here we go.
Circling Eagle, answering back. Miko compromising. Fireflux's positioning. That's a final slash from Lord Smooth. Sunshine down to a fifth of his health. Gonna get popped here before he even gets to use his ult. And now Sasa gets spotted out. Apex takes him out. 2 for 1 so far. Fireflux winning the trade. This is our base. Get out of my base as Fireflux goes ahead and takes down the Lord. Team SMG might want to check themselves before they wreck themselves as Saksha here buys the immortality just in the nick of time. He's still up. Now he's down unless, where's the delay damage? There it is! Alien sent him home.
Oh, that was painful. I got a huge sense of PTSD. Like, I've seen this happen before at the wild cards, and it's happening all over again.
So recent.
It's so very recent, right? You gotta give it up to Apex 47. The fact that he is positioned so far up, not only giving vision, but more importantly, disrupting Sasa between his auto attacks, and more importantly, disrupting that reload is so key to Fireflux's victory. The fact that we not only saw Apex disrupt him, but the commitment from Alien to ensure that it happens. Team SMG, after Sasa's full combo, lose all their damage when Sasa dies.
I would actually also want to... I would actually applaud for Apex because he made them distracted, so distracted the backline was in chaos.
Oh, circling Eagle. knocking up TNZ. Final slash already committed, plus the Puisan. So both teams understand, hey, if we don't spend our ults, we might have died here. So with that said, Team SMG, they respect the fact that, hey, we kind of overcommitted there.
Well, look, at this point, I think that both damage dealers, the Saxa and also Sasa, are being treated as kings because at this moment, both of them can have the assistance of two supports, and not just that, you have the immortality, and not just that, even you can use the freeze or a wind of nature. So at this point, I think that Team SMG is unkillable.
I think that unkillable is a statement. It kind of depends. I feel like it comes down to whether Team SMG want to fully commit. And I think that commitment condition really boils down to ultimate usage from the side of Fireflux Esports. If we learn anything from Fireflux, wait, hold up, Saxa is going pretty deep here.
He's checking into that bush, forcing Sunshine
Oh my gosh.
to use the ult. That's a respectable amount of damage there that Saksha has to heal up. Oh, Gideon, you were saying?
Yeah, I think that at this point in time, Fireflux, they're waiting for the engagement of Team SMG to look to punish.
Yeah, no, they're so much better on the turn.
Do you guys think that we will see like a flicker final slash from Smooth taking everything away right now?
Only if we see Sunshine and Rosa really close together.
Looking for the setup, Smooth in the middle of 4. There's one, displacing Genzi. Genzi steals it right underneath SMG's nose as they force Saksha to go ahead and juggle items. The hard guard not coming in clutch. 2 for none. Thank you very much. You get nothing, good sir, as Fireflux him just... Oh man, that's it. That's it. This is a big win. Just like that, and rubber bands over to their side again.
And they get another kill on top of that. 3 down, a Lord take as well. Despite getting pushed away by Smooth, it just was not enough. Fireflux come out on top.
With impunity. Everything that they've done, Team SMG could not answer back. Now they're inside the base. The first inhibitor is gonna fall, and that might be all they need. They're defending. Oh, no minions, no minions. Can they do it? Smooth in 10, smooth in 10.
10, Saxa in 17, and unfortunately Miko in 30. And then it needs. What?
Wait.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's already one immortality done. It's not going to stop Fireflux from actually pushing in, but let's see if they're actually going to get greedy with it. Because by the time that Lord actually makes it to that inhibitor turret, most of the Team SMG is going to be alive.
Yeah, a few seconds ago, we have witnessed a massacre happening with the hands of Team Fireflux, and Team SMG now have to bounce back, have to come back from that, and coming back from such hit is so hard.
Here we go. This is all 5 members of each team in the base.
Oh!
Team SMG coming in, Alien, gonna get his immortality popped. There it is, underneath this Lord. You don't wanna fight. There is a passive, the extra damage. Sunshine, throwing up our memory. Sasa, gonna get popped. His immortality still good. The base. Fireflux takes game 1.
Good game coming out from Fireflux. Just a tankier line of play, easy ways to actually look for these counter engagements, and more so, punishing big mistakes coming out from the side of Team SMG, especially once the trigger has been pulled. They've been playing towards their own strengths, and honestly, well done to Fireflux Esports for game number 1.
They know the limits of the Ube, and they finessed that last bit of value from sticking together and punishing what SMG was forcing.
Well, that's a game I love to watch. Well, who else hates to see a one-sided game? I think it's not just me, right?
Oh, of course.
No one loves to see a one-sided game. So the game started with the team, with Team Fireflux dominating the early game, and then after a while, Team SMG managed to recover, and not just that, Team Fireflux comes back again to take the game and to go for a second match, having, let's say, a match point.
I mean, they're already at match point, but this is classic Team SMG shenanigans, right? I mean, I think it did feel a little awkward to see them play in this particular manner, and I don't think they were expecting to get this many priority picks. It came to the point where it kind of overloaded what their composition actually wanted to do.
This is too good to be true. What do we do with all of these good heroes?
It's just the penalty of capitalism. When you have too much, you don't know what to do with it, right?
Well, I think that this question was mainly asked by the Valentina, though. She had too much to choose from.
Exactly. I mean, even though it was, the amount of mobility that they have, the quote-unquote potential hospital meta that could have come out of this, thankfully with the meta shift, it didn't happen as well as it does. It doesn't change the fact that no matter how much mobility you have, if you only have 2 linchpins and one of them gets taken out when you need 2, you're not going to be able to win these fights.
Which comes back to an argument we had in the draft. the Ube is not defined by healing.
Okay.
The Ube is defined by the movements and the tactical calls you have. So yeah, you could say they don't really have an Estes, a Rafaela, a Matilda, not even an Angela. It's SMG who had that in spades. But the way Fireflux moved, the way that they always tried to bait with Apex and then clap back with like 3 or 4 hiding in a bush, that's the Ube. That's what defines what makes this work.
But does that make you remember, or actually reminds you of Blacklist's Ube?
Well, I think that there are a couple of variations, and I don't know whether it's, you know, with the, well, I wouldn't say acclamation, but the changes that have occurred with the roster itself. Has RenJ kind of left an impression, the Hitman himself, on the rest of the Fireflux, that it's like, maybe this is a new way of actually evolving.
Okay, to be fair, all types of Ube will remind you of the original, right?
All right.
You will
Naturally.
always
Fair
be
enough.
deriving, you will always be looking at it from its main DNA. And with that said, I think this puts SMG in a very interesting situation.
Yeah.
If you'll remember, the last time Team SMG was in a World Championship was when the Ube, the age of Ube started.
And actually, like, bringing back history, I don't think that Team SMG want to bring back history, because at
Not
M3,
like this.
yeah, look at Gideon. Look at Gideon. They don't want to remember the M3, right? They don't want to remember that.
I don't remember.
Tough
what that
times.
was.
Tough
He doesn't. He doesn't already.
It's just a blank slate in my mind. Look, Malaysia has had a couple of abysmal performances, especially. I think that Team SMG, they want to correct that mistake once more. It's not exactly the best start in the world, especially in the best of 3 against Fireflux, but, you know, taking revenge is not exactly the easiest of roads, especially with the style that they play, right? It's either, especially for those who have actually dealt with the Ube strat, well, I mean, from the original source, a couple of potential solutions. Either you're looking for pickoffs, either you're looking to actually team fight with the team fight.
Or go much, much faster, as proven by the M4 World Champions.
But that, for me, after you put it that way, I'm thinking, is the Ube strategy is the antidote of Team SMG? Is it like the medicine for them to not be able to play or perform well?
Well, I think it is a bit of a rock, paper, scissors matchup in that particular case, right? Because again, slow and methodical, want to kind of slowly choke you out, but if you're Ubeing and you're playing very, very defensively against the motions that are coming out from the side of Team SMG, this now becomes a problem, because you will scale at the exact same time and not develop an actual advantage. With that being said, with Game 1 already concluded, let's have a look at our MVP, brought to you by the Republic of Gamers. Give it up, hands together, for the MVP of the game, going over to TNZ with his 2-2-12 overall playstyle. Very cool, calm, and collected. But as soon as he got that advantage, he told the rest of his team, this is what we're going to do. 100% kill participation is going to be mine, so let's choke him out.
Well, as I told you, he is the Soul Reaper, having a kill participation of 100%. He was there during the whole thing, and also he knows how to build up his hero. So having that Radiant Armor and also focusing on the HP, the amount of HP that was so ridiculous for Team SMG to take him down, and also you would see that he went for that tanky emblem set. Going back to the highlights, seeing one of the best, or like the best shots that we had this game. First blood by Tennessee, and also Team Fireflux dominating the early game. Saxa as well was trying to get Ilian. He got him with the first kill. Yeah, he did get him here with the first kill. And I think that the turning point for Team SMG, let's say, was the early game. They couldn't recover from that until they found the window, as Leo said.
Yeah, and this was a really important window as well, right? You do see that Saxa is actually scaling up pretty quick in the mid game, because while the teams were focused around these neutral objectives, he's looking to power farm and actually make up the loss of time that TNZ has stolen away from him. Once they reach that point, then comes the second problem, right? You have the droid, which is already good at going in and out, but if you commit the heart guard and everything towards the droid, what happens to Sasa on the Beatrix?
Well, actually, going back to the draft, I remember that I saw Team SMG banning that Phoebus, so they kind of wanted to go for that mobility, let's say, kind of composition, and they did. They have the Joy, and also they have the Arlot, which was like a free game for Phoebus. But here, it was the only chance the Team SMG actually had to finish the game, and it was so hard for them because of Apex coming from the back line, getting everyone, or making everyone distracted from the crystal, from the main point. Here was the only chance for Team SMG to get that base, and they couldn't have taken it. And here we see that Tennessee taking the Lord, and everything fell down for Team SMG.
It's really unfortunate to see in these particular moments because, again, I felt like SMG's biggest problem was the overcommitment and the overutilization of certain ults onto one particular target. I think if they were just a little bit more efficient with their abilities, it might have been a completely different result because, again, Fireflux, they really took advantage of these windows. Overcommit, you got no cooldowns, instant punish.
Yeah, they did get instant punish, but they could have made it somehow to just use that window, to use the opportunity to finish, but everything has settled for Team Fireflux to win the game. Let's say, I'm not so focused on the goal difference because whenever you go to the late game, it doesn't actually matter because everyone have their own items, like full items, and some of the players actually have made me wonder why did they even bring that spell, because as I remember, I haven't seen Rosap uses his flicker quite much, but let's go to the itemization. As I told you, at some point the Cold Rose Meteor and also the Wind of Nature was used by the side of Team Fireflux at Sunshine, especially because he managed to escape a lot of the pressure that Team SMG had, and at this moment I'm talking about Saxa. Well, seeing the items and seeing how people were building, I don't see quite an interesting, I would say, build especially, but
At the very least, we're seeing that both junglers are really taking the helm here. Rich Guy, the carry, going over to Saxa, Sandbag, and Forgotten One going over to TNZ. Two completely different sides of the exact same coin.
And that's why, actually, having 12 assists on TNZ, this is something we are kind of used to see on the rumors, but in terms of the utility heroes meta, that's what we can see and what we can expect from the jungler also as well. Team 100% participation by TNZ, which is the most mesmerizing statistic on this board here, and the damage dealt, I think that Saxa did make the most amount of damage. Yeah, he did make the most amount of damage, and he kind of also absorbed the most amount of damage in his team. So, having that said, Saxa was having the best of the Angela and the Matilda combo, and not Sasa.
Okay, you know why that is?
Why?
And it's because of a young man you're not talking about, this gentleman named Apex47. I am disappointed that you guys are not highlighting his amazing work as the Hilda. You're wondering why Saksha had the best of the Matilda and the Angela. Even Sasa could have done that.
Yeah.